So before we get into this one, I just want to say a couple things. Originally this was supposed to be a 1.5k mini special, but since then I've actually got past 2.5k because it took a lot longer than I expected to organise, so thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. Secondly, I want to just kind of explain what this is. It's recreating one scene from each Doctor from Doctor Who, with a lot of other talented VAs in this community. All their links are in the description. Please check them out. They're all brilliant people. And basically, this isn't supposed to be impressions, more recreating the scenes as if they showed up in our regular scripts. If this isn't really your thing, the next video on should be Friday. Will be a regular video again. This was just a little bit of fun, and without further ado, I'll just get into the video.
Grandfather!
Listen, Susan, please. I've double-locked the doors. You can't get in. Now move back, child, where I can see you. During all the years I've been taking care of you, you in return have been taking care of me.
Oh, Grandfather, I belong with you.
Not any longer, Susan. You're still my grandchild, and you always will be. But now you're a woman, too. I want you to belong somewhere, to have roots of your own. With David, you'll be able to find those roots and live normally like any woman should do. Believe me, my dear, your future lies with David and not with a silly old buffer like me. One day, I will come back. Yes, I shall come back. Until then, there must be no regrets, no tears, and no anxieties. Just go forward in all your beliefs and prove to me that I am not mistaken in mine. Goodbye, Susan. Goodbye, my dear.
I'm on your side, remember? Hey, why didn't you wake me? I should have been on watch half an hour ago.
I thought you should rest.
Why me?
No reason, really.
Oh, I think I know. Is it because I'm...
Well, if you are 450 years old, you need a great deal of sleep.
Well, that's very considerate of you, Victoria. But between you and me, I'm really quite lively, actually, all things considered. Are you happy with us, Victoria?
Yes, I am. At least, I would be if my father were here.
Yes, I know.
I wonder what he would have thought if he could see me now.
You miss him very much, don't you?
It's only when I close my eyes. I can still see him standing there, before those horrible Dalek creatures came into the house. He was a very kind man. I shall never forget him. Never.
No, of course you won't. But you know, the memory of him won't always be a sad one.
I think it will. You can't understand, being so ancient.
Eh?
I mean old.
Oh.
You probably can't remember your family.
Oh yes, I can when I want to. And that's the point, really. I have to really want to bring them back in front of my eyes. The rest of the time, they sleep in my mind and I forget. And so will you. Oh yes, you will. You'll find there's so much else to think about. So remember, our lives are different to anybody else's. That's the exciting thing. There's nobody in the universe who can do what we're doing. You must get some sleep and let this poor old man stay awake.
What happens if the Master wins?
Well, the whole of creation is very delicately balanced on cosmic terms, Joe. If the Master opens the floodgates of Kronos' power, all order and all structure will be swept away, and nothing will be left but chaos.
Makes it seem so pointless, really. Doesn't it?
I felt like that once when I was young. It was the blackest day of my life.
Why?
Ah, well, that's another story. I'll tell you about it one day. The point is, that day was not only my blackest, but my best.
Well, what you mean?
Well, when I was a little boy, we used to live in a house that was perched halfway up the top of a mountain. And behind our house, there sat under a tree an old man, a hermit, a monk. He'd lived under this tree for half his lifetime, so they said, and he'd learned the secret of life. So, when my black day came, I went and asked him to help me.
And he told you the secret? Well, what was it?
Well, I'm coming to that, Joe, in my own time. I'll never forget what it was like up there. All bleak and cold it was. A few bare rocks with some weeds sprouting out from them, and some pathetic little patches of sludgy snow. It was just grey, 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 grey. Well, the tree the old man sat under, that was ancient and twisted. And the old man himself he was as brittle and as dry as a leaf in autumn.
But what did he say?
Nothing. Not a word. He just sat there, silently, expressionless. And he listened while I poured out my troubles to him. I was too unhappy even for tears, I remember. When I'd finished, he lifted a skeletal hand and he pointed. Do you know what he pointed at?
No.
A flower. One of those little weeds. Just like a daisy it was. I looked at it for a moment, and suddenly I saw it through his eyes. It was simply glowing with life, like a perfectly cut jewel. And the colours... well, the colours were deeper and richer than you could possibly imagine. Yes, that was the daisiest daisy I'd ever seen.
And that was the secret of life? A daisy? Honestly, Doctor.
Yeah, I laughed too when I first heard it. So later I got up and I ran down that mountain, and I found rocks that weren't grey at all, but they were red, brown and purple and gold. And those pathetic little patches of sludgy snow, they were shining white in the sunlight. Are you still frightened, Joe?
Not as much as I was.
That's good. I'm sorry I brought you to Atlantis.
I'm not.
Thank you. Homo sapiens. What an inventive, invincible species. It's only been a few million years since they've crawled up out of the mud and learned to walk. Puny, defenseless bipeds. They've survived cosmic wars and holocausts. And now here they are, amongst the stars, waiting to begin a new life, ready to outsit eternity. They're indomitable. Indomitable.
That'll do. All right, Snoop. Hands in the air and over here.
Why?
'Cause I'll kill you if you don't.
Not a very persuasive argument, actually, Stotts, because I'm going to die soon anyway. Unless, of course...
I'll give you to the count of 3.
Unless, of course, I can find the antidote. I owe it to my friend to try because I got her into this. So you see, I'm not going to let you stop me now.
3!
Of course, Doctor. To protect their own secrets, they drew the Earth and its constellation billions of miles across space,
Causing a fireball which nearly destroyed the planet.
Of little consequence in the High Council's planning, the robot recovery mission from Andromeda sped past Earth out into outer space. Gallifreyan's secrets were saved, except that at the first intimation of the coming fireball, the Andromedans were able to set up a survival chamber for the sleepers.
So that's why Earth was renamed Ravalox. That sanctimonious gang of hypocrites were covering their tracks.
Exactly. It takes time, Doctor, but eventually you get there.
They put an ancient culture like the Earth to the sword for the sake of a few miserable, filthy scientific advances?
Big market for them, Doctor, so he said. Worth a lot of Grotzits.
In all my travellings throughout the universe, I have battled against evil. Against power-mad conspirators. I should have stayed here, the oldest civilization. Decadent, degenerate, and rotten to the core. Ha! Power-mad conspirators, Daleks, Sontarans, Cybermen. They're still in the nursery compared to us. 10 million years of absolute power. That's what it takes to be really corrupt.
Doctor, these unseemingly outbursts.
Unseemly outbursts? If I hadn't visited Ravalox as I then thought of it, the High Council would have kept this outrage carefully buried, as presumably they have for several centuries.
I must agree. You have an endearing habit of blundering into these things, Doctor, and the High Council took full advantage of your blunder.
Explain that.
They made a deal with the VALEYARD, or as I've always known him, the Doctor, to adjust the evidence, in return for which he was promised the remainder of the Doctor's regenerations.
This is clearly...
Just wait a minute. Did you just call him the Doctor?
There is some evil in all of us, Doctor. Even you. The VALEYARD is an amalgamation of the darker sides of your nature, somewhere between your 12th and final incarnation, and may I say, you do not improve with age.
Sir, this revelation should halt this trial immediately. Surely even Gallifreyan law must acknowledge that the same person cannot be both prosecutor and defendant.
The single purpose of this trial is to determine the defendant's guilt, or otherwise on the basis of the evidence that has been presented. Anything else is, for the moment, irrelevant.
What?
VALEYARD!
Glitz, come on!
What?
Doctor, pity me.
Fear me.
Ah.
Tell this to your gods when they stretch you on the neutron rack. I'm still here.
But you're one little man.
No, not a man, not a human being. I'm a complex space-time event. I'm the Lord President of Gallifrey, the traveller from beyond time. I am the Sandman, the oncoming storm. I am the Catharak Gathri, the destroyer of worlds. And sometimes, only sometimes, I am your worst nightmare. I am the Doctor, and I take care of my friends.
Maybe you're the result of some weird genetic experiment.
I don't think so.
Well, you have no recollection of family.
No. Wait. I remember. I'm with my father, laying back in the grass. It's a warm Gallifreyan night.
Gallifreyan?
Gallifrey! Yes, this must be where I live. Now where is that?
I've never heard of it. What do you remember?
A meteor storm. The sky above us was dancing with lights. Purple, green, brilliant yellow. Yes!
What?
These shoes! They fit perfectly. Yes.
What happens?
Don't you remember?
It's like there was this singing.
That's right. I sang a song and the Daleks ran away.
I was at home. No, I wasn't. I was in the TARDIS and there was this light. I can't remember anything else.
Rose Tyler. I was going to take you to so many places. Barcelona. Not the city Barcelona, the planet Barcelona. You'd love it. Fantastic place. They've got dogs with no noses. Imagine how many times a day you'd end up telling that joke and it's still funny.
Then why can't we go?
Maybe you will. And maybe I will. But not like this.
Yeah, not making sense.
I might never make sense again. I might have 2 heads, or no head. Imagine me with no head. And don't say that's an improvement. But it's a bit dodgy, this process. You never know what you're gonna end up with.
Doctor!
Stay away!
Doctor, tell me what's going on.
I absorbed all the energy of the time vortex, and no one's meant to do that. Every cell in my body is dying.
Can you do something?
Yeah, I'm doing it now. Time Lords have this little trick. It's sort of a way of cheating death. Except, it means I'm gonna change. And I'm not gonna see you again. Not like this. Not with this daft old face. And before I go...
Don't say that.
Rose, before I go, I just want to tell you, you were fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And you know what? So was I.
You saved us.
Just think though, your daughter and your daughter's daughter, you can see them again. Family reunion.
But I'm supposed to be dead.
Not anymore.
But Susie, my granddaughter, the person she's supposed to become, might never exist now.
Nah, Captain Adelaide can inspire her face to face. Different details, but the story's still the same.
You can't know that. And if my family changes, the whole of history could change. The future of the human race. No one should have that much power.
Tough.
You should have left us there.
Adelaide, I've done this sort of thing before, in small ways. Saved some little people. But never someone as important as you. Oh, I'm good.
Little people? What, like Mia and Yuri? Who decides they're unimportant? You?
For a long time now I thought I was just a survivor, but I'm not. I'm the winner. That's who I am. The Time Lord victorious.
And there's no one to stop you.
No.
This is wrong, Doctor. I don't care who you are. The Time Lord victorious is wrong.
That's for me to decide. Now you'd better get home. Oh, it's all locked up. You've been away. Still, that's easy. All yours.
Is there nothing you can't do?
Not anymore. Okay then, that's what I'll do. I'll tell you a story. Can you hear 'em? All these people who have lived in terror of you and your judgment. All these people whose ancestors devoted themselves, sacrificed themselves to you. Can you hear them singing? Oh, you like to think you're a god, but you're not a god, are you? You're just a parasite eaten out of jealousy and envy and the longing for the lives of others. You feed on them, on the memory of love and loss and birth and death and joy and sorrow. So come on then. Take mine. Take my memories, but I hope you've got a big appetite, because I have lived a long life and I have seen a few things. I walked away from the last great time war. I marked the passing of the Time Lords. I saw the birth of the universe, and I watched as time ran out moment by moment, until nothing remained. No time, no space, just me. I've walked in universes where the laws of physics were devised by the mind of a madman. I've watched universes freeze and creations burn. I've seen things that you wouldn't believe, and I have lost things that you will never understand. And I know things. Secrets that must never be told. Knowledge that must never be spoken. Knowledge that will make parasite gods blaze. So come on then. Take it. Take it all, baby. Have it. You have it all. There's another solar farm 5 levels above us. If I can get all the children up there and most of the adults...
Then the Cybermen will find them again.
It's the best I can do, so I'm doing it. Do you have a problem with that?
You can't win.
I know, and...
Come on, lady version, I honestly don't know what you see in him.
Likewise.
No! No! When I say no, you turn back around. I'm going to be dead in a few hours, so before I go, let's have this out, you and me, once and for all. Winning? Is that what you think this is about? I'm not trying to win. I'm not doing this because I want to beat someone or because I hate someone or because I want to blame someone. It's not because it's fun, and God knows it's not because it's easy. It's not even because it works, because it hardly ever does. I do what I do because it's right. Because it's decent. And above all, it's kind. It's just that. Just kind. If I run away today, good people will die. If I stand and fight, some of them might live. Maybe not many. Maybe not for long. Hey, maybe there's no point in any of this at all. But it's the best I can do, so I'm going to do it. And I will stand here doing it until it kills me. You're going to die too someday. How will that be? Have you thought about it? What would you die for? Who I am is where I stand. And where I stand is where I fall. Stand with me. These people are terrified. Maybe we can help a little. Why not, just at the end, just be kind?
See this face? Take a good long look at it. This is the face that didn't listen to a word you just said.
Missy, you've changed. I know you have. And I know what you're capable of. Stand with me. It's all I've ever wanted.
Me too. But no. Sorry. Just no.
Oh, Grace.
What's happened to her?
Surplus to requirements. Now do you believe me? Eric, this woman is clearly an alien force collapsing 2 realities and impersonating your dead wife. Time to move on, mate.
But I can't.
No. Of course you can't. Fine, congratulations. Eric wants you. Just one thing. This world is falling apart. I reckon you can only keep one of us. You sure he's your best option? 'Cause the SOLITRACT doesn't want a husband. You want a whole universe. Someone who's seen it all, and that's me. I've lived longer, seen more, loved more, and lost more. I can share it all with you. Anything you want to know about what you've never had. He's an idiot with a daughter that needs him. So come on, let him go and I will give you everything. There are worlds out there where the sky is burning, where the sea's asleep and the rivers dream. People made of smoke and cities made of song. Somewhere there's danger, somewhere there's injustice, and somewhere else the tea's getting cold. Come on, subscribers. We've got work to do.